Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock here on 11 Live Plus. I'm meteorologist Melissa Nord with this extended update on what you need to know about the Arctic air moving in, and that's here already, and plus what we can expect over the weekend in terms of temperatures and that chance of any wintry weather. And I want to set the stage by saying this is our coldest stretch in January so far, and of the winter so far. We're seeing multiple cold air intrusions or bouts of Arctic air pushing into North Georgia, and each one of these brings another shot of cold air, and it also gives us the potential that as we see the cold air here, we got to watch moisture very carefully. So one of those cold air shots is here now. Here comes the second one diving down from Canada the second half of the weekend, entering North Georgia Saturday overnight into Sunday morning, and then the third of which is going to slide in here by Tuesday of next week. So you're going to notice a lot of cold on the 7-day forecast. Today, the first cold air stretch is here, currently in town, 37 degrees. Northwest winds, 18 miles an hour. I want to show you some of the gusts as well. Let me pull up those wind gusts because yeah, it's been pretty gusty today, right? I mean, especially this morning, we had some really strong wind gusts. Some of those peak gusts were 30 to 35 miles an hour. And what that does is it kind of cuts through the layers that you're wearing outside. It creates a wind chill effect. When we have sustained winds around 20 miles an hour, gusts higher than that, it creates a wind chill effect. So that's why we were showing you this feels like temperature map a lot today. It's because this is what it actually feels like outside. It feels like 27 in Atlanta, 29 in Covington. Up in the North Georgia mountains, we also still have some of those wind chills that are in the teens. Some of those areas in the North Georgia mountains, we're waking up with some school delays and 2-hour, rather virtual learning days as well, as we did have some snow showers yesterday evening. So, we're watching that. We're watching that very carefully in terms of the wind chills for the afternoon. We should see them staying below the freezing mark here in Atlanta. And 24-hour temperature change graphic. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. We're seeing those temperatures right now running 20 to 30 degrees colder than this time yesterday in Northwest Georgia, and here in the metro about 10 to 15 degrees colder than it was 24 hours ago. As we head through the day today, bright sunshine, it's cold. Wind chills will stay below freezing here in Atlanta, with the actual temperature staying in the 30s this afternoon, and then as the sun sets, we're down to the 20s again by first thing on Friday morning. So Arctic air is here. We've got more cold air coming in by Saturday night, and then watching moisture over the weekend. And I want to talk about that because we have two different weather systems I'm tracking over the weekend. Here's the big picture of how those play out on our European model. This is showing you the sunshine overhead right now. By tomorrow night, we see weather system number 1 coming in. This is another one of those Arctic cold fronts. It doesn't have a lot of moisture with it, but it will produce some light rain showers over portions of North Georgia, and where it's cold enough, some flakes and some wet bursts of snow will mix in. The cold air will follow that by the end of Saturday. Then on the tail end of that system, we have this other low that tries to develop. This is almost kind of natured with how some of this develops, in the tropics. Sometimes at the tail end of a cold front, we can see a little low spinning up somewhere near the Gulf or the southeastern coast. Well, this thing tries to form right over the Gulf Stream off the Georgia coast. And with that, where the cold air meets the moisture, there could be some wintry weather. Now, the European model is painting that wintry weather across southeastern Georgia and kind of the coastline of the Carolinas. Some other models have that wintry weather further north and west. And here's the European model showing you the snowfall potential. You can see really not a lot, but it's something worth watching. Now, I'm going to show you the opposite end of the spectrum. We call these operational models. These are not our ensemble models. This is one run of one model. It's not showing you if little tiny changes today were to happen. What does that mean for Sunday? Like if we were supposed to see clear skies here today and northwest winds at 18 miles per hour, but it's actually, partly cloudy today and the northwest winds are only at 10 miles per hour. How does that change what's going to happen down the line? So that being said, this is just one model. This is the American model showing you for Sunday. It brings in that changeover. Look here, a little further north and west. So it brings it mainly across central Georgia, but some of that snow would reach parts of North Georgia as well. Again, one run of one model. Let me show you the most furthest north and west solution, which is the NAM, and I often say like the NAM's picking its nose or something like that. So take this with a grain of salt, a very small grain of salt. but it has that second system coming in. Here's the first one first. It has some of those light rain showers Saturday morning. Then it has the second low forming much further north and west. In fact, it tries to form the low down here. Lows that form down here and cut across South Georgia, that's when we see the potential for snow increasing over North Georgia. The other models don't really form the low until it gets over the Gulf Stream. This one's trying to form it here. So with that, watch the NAM. Whoops, we go out to, oh, that was Sunday morning. Okay, so Sunday morning into the afternoon, you kind of see it's trying to break out more of that moisture here across parts of North Georgia. So a lot that we don't know and a lot that we have yet to figure out, but what we do know with confidence is cold air comes back in here Saturday night into Sunday morning, and wherever the moisture aligns with that, there could be some wintry weather. Just as an example, again, this is model data. This is not our forecast. But that American model that brought the moisture further north and west, this is some very light accumulation south and east of Atlanta. The European had that moisture just over southeastern Georgia, so we're bone dry on Sunday, and it's just a cold day. So with all that being said, we know this weekend will be cold. We know we are watching Saturday morning, some flakes in the North Georgia mountains and some rain showers here in metro Atlanta, and we're watching the coast on Sunday. At this point, some kind of low is going to try to form, but where does that actually happen? Where does the moisture end up because of where the low forms, and how much moisture will we get, or how much snow would we get, and what would the timing and impacts be? Those are all what we still don't know. So when you look at these, you say, so we're watching something, but we really don't know the fine details, and that's what I want you to take away. It's not the time to run and go to the grocery store and buy the milk and buy the bread. It is time to be checking back in on your local meteorologist for here's what we know, here's what we don't know. A lot of our other models that I can't show you in this graphic system paint that light snowfall more across central and southern Georgia and don't bring it into North Georgia. So at this point, I would say it's more likely that we wouldn't see the snow here, but not zero chance that we would see the snow here. So it's more likely to target more central southern Georgia than North Georgia, but anything can change between now and then because the system hasn't even formed yet. So there's a lot to be determined. So over the weekend, we've gone with some rain showers on Saturday morning here. We're actually still going to make it to about 50 on Saturday afternoon, so it's not a bad day. It's warmer than today. Sunday will be cold. We've given it a 20% chance of some of that rain or snow possibility for Sunday morning. Blue Ridge right now, pretty outside, cold, pretty cold. We've got wind chills right now in the teens up there, 20s in metro Atlanta. You can see here after sunset those wind chills start dropping again, but the winds should turn lighter, so I don't think wind chills tomorrow morning will be widespread teens and zeros like we saw this morning. It'll just be a plain cold day. Now we'll start your Friday off dry. Here's the forecast track showing you for the afternoon. We are up around 50. We see sun shining. It's seasonably cold, but it's not frigid cold like we're dealing with today. We'll get into Friday evening and we start to see that moisture coming into northwest Georgia, first in the form of some clouds. Then we see the rain showers moving in from the north and west, so that will bring rain northwest overnight. And you can see those few areas, if you blink, you miss it, but there's that little changeover. And again, as we're seeing this changeover happening, I've put the temperatures on here because I think they're a really important component of understanding the impacts. 46 Atlanta, 42 Duluth, 50 in Peachtree City, 39 in Canton. Up here in the mountains, we're talking in the main towns that are not at the highest peaks, like 33 to 35, maybe 36 or 7 even. And then at the highest peaks, it will drop below freezing. So with that being said, there will be some snow falling Saturday morning, really the overnight. Where it sticks and accumulates is once again mostly going to be those highest elevations. Last night, Angelina Salcido, our weekend anchor and reporter, was up along the Richard Russell Scenic Parkway in Hogpen Gap. And there, she did pick up that snow that was falling, but in a lot of the main mountain cities up there, in the different towns, we just didn't have the cold enough air to get a lot of that snow to actually come down. So we will watch that for Saturday morning. You can see here forecast track by sunrise. It's almost out of here. And then we're rebounding to the 40s and low 50s by the afternoon. I'll take the forecast track out into Sunday so you can just see this model that I'm looking at right now just doesn't have the moisture coming inland. So I just showed you 3 different models that have moisture either across southeastern Georgia, central Georgia, or up into North Georgia. Well, this one is the opposite end of the spectrum without any moisture here visible in our viewing area. So, a lot to be determined. Okay, let's talk about the Friday night, Saturday morning snow. You can see the higher elevations. We'll get some light accumulations. We're talking above 2,500 feet or so. We're going to see a coating to a ½ inch, maybe an inch or so in some of those highest peaks. Of course, one of those highest peaks, or the highest peak, Brasstown Bald. I'm sure that visitor center will be closed on Saturday because of the snow from the overnight. All right, for today, we've got cold weather. Tonight, cold weather. We see clear skies tonight. We'll be dropping down to the mid-20s by tomorrow morning. There will be a few more teens in the North Georgia mountains, but we don't have that really strong wind like we had this morning. So the wind chills are about what the actual temperatures are going to be. Sunshine tomorrow. We get a nice rebound. We're already up to 50 degrees, all the way up to 50 degrees in the afternoon here. 40s, North Georgia mountains. Then over the weekend, we're still mild on Saturday behind that morning system. And then Sunday, the bottom falls out again. So Sunday's high temperature, 44 degrees. Monday, or 40 degrees. Monday, 44. Those lows also take a little roller coaster tumble up and down the next few mornings. 25 on Friday, 39 on Saturday, 28 on Sunday, Monday, 22. That'll sting. 23 on Tuesday. So, lots to talk about. And you know what's going to happen right after this? Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb gets in. We look at a whole new suite of models, and we get to rehash the 7-day forecast and the impacts that we think might happen over the weekend. So we will be back here on 11 Alive Plus starting at 4 o'clock today with a detailed outlook of what we're expecting over the weekend. 7-day forecast, 37 today, lots of sunshine. 50 on Friday after starting off at 25 in the morning. And then we will see some rain showers overnight into Saturday morning with some snow mixing in the North Georgia mountains. For Sunday, 20% chance right now that we'd see that wintry weather here. We'll keep you updated right here on 11 Alive Plus.